Hello folks, welcome to my first Huevember speed draw. We're going to start off with a photosensitivity warning. There is going to be a lot of jumping and flashing on the screen. So if you are sensitive to that, try and focus on the canvas to the right side of the screen. That one's going to be staying stationary, and the one to the left, as you can already see, is going to be jumping and twisting around quite a bit. So for Huevember, I've never participated in this challenge before, but I really wanted to do all 30 days this year with 30 of my original characters, and we're starting out with this lovely lady, Amelia. I've had this character for quite a while, but she doesn't have a super solid backstory, and the reason for that is because this character and her story is the story that I've changed the most. It's gone through so many iterations, so many revisions, that she just is a character in and of herself, and she may one day land in a story that I complete, but there's no guarantees about that. All I really know about her is she has a younger brother, and she has some sort of relationship, be it friendly, romantic, rivals, not sure, with her younger brother's arch enemy. She's really just one of these characters that I really enjoy drawing for some reason, kind of like a muse character. Same with her brother Jameson and her friend slash enemy slash lover Joan. All three of them are just really fun characters for me to draw on. Whenever I can't think of something to draw, I'll always turn to the three of them and see which one I want to draw that day. So I want to go over my process just a little bit here. Right now I'm doing the line art for the piece, which in my experience always takes the longest on any of my digital pieces. I don't know why. The detail in there, I really get bogged down in the details and the fine lines, and I end up spending way too much time on the line art than I do any other step of the process. Now I'm just going to go in with some base colors. I'm just getting the primary colors for what I want the skin to look like, what I want this sort of blush, freckles, dress, hair, the base color of all of those. I'm not worried about shading or highlighting or dimension or any of that just yet. I just like to get the flat base color down. And sometimes when I do the base, I do something which I'm doing here. I use a much more vibrant, much more pigmented color to put the base down first, and then I'll color adjust it later to get the actual color that I want. And the reason that I do that, especially for this piece, I did it for two reasons, is one, the orange was a little easier for me to see on the background than the yellow was, so I can tell... I can make sure that I'm getting all the little nooks and crannies, make sure everything's all filled in. And the second reason is I did want this piece to have a very red tone over it, a very ruby red tone. So I started with the orange to kind of get that feeling of like, what would blonde hair look like under red lighting, under red toning. Of course, it wouldn't look that vibrant orange, but it does help the creative process a bit. Now I'm just going in with those cell shadows. Cell shadows are basically just really basic outlined shading that is not blended in. It's not smooth shading. Sometimes when I do a bigger piece, I will go in with some smoother shading, some sort of blended out stuff. But for the purposes of the Huevember pieces, I want to get them done kind of quickly. So I'm just doing basic cell shading on all of them. And what I've done here is I put another layer on, and I place that layer on multiply. I think I gave it a little bit of a red tint to kind of get that spooky red lighting. And I'm just erasing the parts that I want to not be in full shadow. So anything that's being illuminated by the candle, I'm erasing. And then I also added some backlighting to the other side there, as you can see, to just kind of separate her from the background. And now we're doing some really intense highlights with the shine layer. That's also known as the luminosity layer if you're on Photoshop. And we're just putting that, again, anywhere the candle light would hit. And adding a couple highlights to her hair. I don't go overboard with the highlights on this one because she is already kind of lit up by that multiply layer. And I think that worked really well. And now we're just messing with the colors, making it red, putting a little bit of a textured background in there, and just making sure everything fits the theme, and there we go. So this is Amelia. She is my day 1 of Huevember, my nice ruby red character. I'm going to be posting one of these videos every day, hopefully. Wish me luck. And if you would like to follow me on my art journey, I can be found on Instagram and TikTok, and I also have a brand new shiny Patreon. If you guys want to support me that way, go check it out. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye-bye.